Now at 6, Joplin police respond to a rise in catalytic converter thefts. Plus, dozens of Missouri law enforcement agencies gather for the funeral of a fallen Herman police officer. And it's opening day for Carl Junction's baseball team. Highlights as they face off against Neosho.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A Joplin man is now in jail for a crash that killed an adult and 2 children. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Prosecutors charged Anthony Hendricks with 3 counts of first-degree manslaughter for the September 2021 single-car crash. Investigators say Hendricks was driving at a high speed under the influence of marijuana when he crashed the car on Highway 10 south of Miami, Oklahoma. The 3 people killed in the crash were 7-year-old Eden Melton, 5-year-old Raylan Brown, and 29-year-old Terry Wilkins, all of Joplin. All 3 died at the scene. Authorities in Allen County, Kansas are investigating after human remains were found over the weekend. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation says the remains were found Saturday evening by a man searching for deer antler sheds east of Humboldt near Arizona Road and 1800th Street. Shortly after they were found, the Allen County Sheriff called in the KBI to help. The person has not yet been identified, nor has the cause of death. An autopsy has been scheduled. Thieves are going after precious metals more than ever to sell them on the black market. However, they aren't targeting your jewelry box. KOAM's Shagun Bamadelli has more on the growing number of catalytic converter thefts Joplin police are investigating.
The catalytic converter on your car contains precious metals. Joplin police say that so far this year, they have received reports of 14 stolen in the city.
It's not just Joplin. It's an epidemic across the country. It not only affects the owner of the vehicle, it affects the installers and the economy in general, actually.
Muffler repair shop owner Denver Stapleton says although they are aftermarket converters, thieves want the original converters because they are more valuable.
They don't really care or want the aftermarket ones because they have less of the precious metals that are in there. They want the original ones that came out of the car.
A mother whose son fell victim to converter theft says the experience was horrible.
It was a huge inconvenience for us to have to get it replaced. It was a big expense. It was about $1,000 to do that. You feel angry, upset, violated.
Denver says people can keep their catalytic converter safe by doing a simple task.
Make different types of cages or some kind of deals that will kind of cover them up, maybe deter, but I don't think really the owner can do anything.
Reporting in Joplin, Shagun Bamadelli, KOAM News.
The JPD says in 2021 and 2022 combined, they investigated 406 reports of stolen catalytic converters. A couple of Joplin residents recently fell victim to employment scams. According to the Better Business Bureau scam tracker, employment scams rose 23% from 2021 to 2022. They're the #1 riskiest for ages 18 to 34. Online purchase scams were the #1 riskiest for ages 35 to 64. There have been some certain positions targeted as well.
There was a scam tracker report from the Joplin area that's very common to the type of employment scams that we see, particularly for folks seeking remote work positions. She was approached for a position that appeared to be a reputable company. They sent her a check, and when she took the check to the bank, of course, it was a fake.
To read more about employment scams, go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Boy, it has been windy out there. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, super windy for us today. Kind of chilly as well. We had some sunshine during the morning hours and then clouds thickened during the afternoon. That's what we are going to continue to see as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Showers down through central Oklahoma, and this is the beginnings of our next storm system that is going to pass by as we go into Tuesday. All right, temperatures, they're not bad. We're mainly sitting into the mid to upper 50s across the region, a little bit below where we should be for this time of the year, but very windy. South winds 20, upwards of 30 miles per hour at times. Through the rest of the evening, slide back through the 40s, mainly dry, but those rain chances start to increase, especially after midnight for us tonight. Staying very windy, thunderstorms tomorrow, big warm up Wednesday, more thunderstorms Thursday. We're going to break it all down for you here in a bit.
See you then. Officers from dozens of Missouri law enforcement agencies and a number of rural communities gathered for a public visitation and funeral services for 34-year-old Sergeant Mason Griffith. Griffith and Officer Adam Solentrup, both of the Herman, Missouri Police Department, were shot a week ago on Sunday after confronting a man with warrants out for his arrest inside a convenience store in the Gasconade County town. Reporter Mark Slavitt was at the funeral service and has more.
Thousands of people packed the Owensville High School gymnasium to say goodbye to Herman Police Officer Mason Griffith, including his wife and 2 sons, and Herman Police Chief Marlon Walker.
God bless you, Mason. I love you dearly, friend. I'm going to miss you, but we'll take it from here. So you rest easy, man.
A procession of hundreds of law enforcement and emergency vehicles followed the funeral services. The procession started at the high school and ended in the nearby town of Rosebud, where Mason Griffith served as police chief. Supporters of law enforcement camped out along the procession to show their appreciation for fallen officer Mason Griffith.
I think that we're all in still shock that something could happen in such a small town in mid-Missouri. So I think that it's hit home for a lot of people.
Law enforcement officials transferred Griffith's body from a hearse to a horse-drawn wagon near the end of the procession. Griffith rode the final part of the procession on the wagon before he went to his final resting place in Rosebud's Emmanuel Lutheran Cemetery. People like Melissa Rucker never knew Mason Griffith, but they were compelled to attend the services.
Coming from a law enforcement family, again, it's very humble to see everybody come out, and it's very sad.
Governor Mike Parson issued a statement saying Mason Griffith's death is a reminder of the countless good deeds our law enforcement officers routinely perform each day. His time with us was too short, but we will always remain grateful to him and his family for their sacrifice.
Officer Solentrup remains hospitalized in stable condition. Coming up, why medical marijuana might not have its chance in Kansas this year. Plus, the Frontenac Raiders softball team looks to defend its state title. We're going to preview their season opener. Medical marijuana appears to have hit another roadblock in the Kansas legislature. Last week, a Senate committee decided to table the bill to legalize medical marijuana, likely stopping progression this year. Sean Logan reports on the reason lawmakers gave for the move.
It's another Kansas legislative session where medical marijuana most likely will be left undone.
I'm trying to think of how to say this nicely. Disappointment. It appears to be something that was just orchestrated.
Cheryl Kumberg is a registered nurse and cannabis nurse who has been advocating for legal medical marijuana through the Kansas Cannabis Coalition.
Mine was cancer in the family. One was in a legal state, the other one was in a non-legal state, and the differences were horrible for the family, the choices we had to make.
She has spent the last several years working on education around medical cannabis use and supporting patients.
They're not using a lot of THC. They're using just enough to mitigate their symptoms. And that's what we want people to understand, is that it seems like legislators have one thing in mind, that everybody wants to get high.
The tabling of the proposed medical marijuana bill came after lawmakers heard concerns from law enforcement and criminal justice representatives, including around the access to patient and caregiver registration.
We believe the law must require any registration document to be in the person's possession when possessing cannabis, and require it to be presented to a law enforcement officer on request.
Sheriff Jeff Easter says another issue is DUIs with marijuana use, which he says was a factor in a crash that killed a Sedgwick County deputy last fall.
How much is too high? We know what the rate is for DUI. It's over 0.08. We don't know what that is for marijuana.
Cheryl says the advocacy will go on to see medical marijuana legalized in Kansas because of the impact she sees it having for patients.
Sad situation that they are forcing people to become criminals just because they want to feel better and heal.
The bill would have regulated the cultivation, use, and sale of medical marijuana, including the licensing for patients, caregivers, and dispensaries with that 10% tax on sales. A little bit later, Carl Junction takes to the diamond against Neosho for the season opener. Highlights in sports.
Plus rain increasing, especially after midnight for us tonight. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, it ended up being a chilly weekend, but a little bit warmer for us today, which is good. A lot of clouds throughout the afternoon hours. We have seen the winds really pick up. Super windy for us today, and it's actually going to stay windy all week long. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, look at the thick clouds across the region. You can start to see some showers popping up back across central parts of Oklahoma. Here's our next storm system rolling out of the Rockies. This will start to affect us later on tonight, especially after midnight. You can already see the rain down through central parts of Oklahoma. This leading edge is not reaching the ground, but this is back toward Ponca City, Oklahoma City, south of Oklahoma City. It's not heavy, it's not big time thunderstorms, but it is a batch of showers that are going to start to head toward us later on tonight. All right, temperatures, they're not bad. A little chilly. Most of us are sitting into the mid 50s across the board, but it's super windy outside, and that's what we're going to see as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Those strong southerly winds. Look at these south winds, 15 upwards to 20 miles per hour. Then we've been getting gusts, which have been higher than that. We've had gusts kind of in that 30 to 35 mile per hour range, and that's what we're going to see as we go through the next few days. They may calm a hair for us tonight, but still winds gusting near 40 for us tomorrow. They stay strong, 40 to 45 mile per hour wind gust on Wednesday. It stays windy on Thursday, and then finally the winds will start to calm down very end of the work week. Rain chances go up. Here's 2 a.m., 5 a.m., 8 a.m. This is going to be pretty widespread rain. 2 p.m., the rain tapering off and then gone as we go through the afternoon hours. Let's step through the overnight hours tonight. Just cloudy skies. Here's 3:30, showers popping up, Kansas and Oklahoma side. As we continue through the morning, widespread rain. Notice the temperatures, lower 40s, too cold for severe weather. Just rain. We may get a little bit of lightning, a couple rumbles of thunder. Heaviest rain on the Missouri and the Arkansas side by 10:30, and then gone by the time we hit the noon hour. Then just mostly cloudy. We kind of hang out in the lower 50s for highs. Let's go into tomorrow night. Could get a spotty shower tomorrow night after midnight, and then Wednesday, mostly cloudy skies, and again, we could get a spotty shower. So here's Wednesday morning. Look at the afternoon. We shoot into lower 70s for highs by the time we head into Wednesday afternoon. So we are really going to warm up as we go through the next couple days. All right, day planner tomorrow, still chilly tomorrow. We only get into lower 50s for highs. Rainfall amounts with this next system, the first system, I think most of us a quarter, maybe upwards to a half of an inch across the region. Then we have another storm system which is going to affect us on Thursday. All right, 52, rain tomorrow. Random hit and miss shower on Wednesday, 74. Near 70 on Thursday, thunderstorms late in the day. Some of those storms could be strong, possibly severe, and a few leftover showers on Friday. Another system moves in late Saturday into Sunday. Temperatures kind of up and down, but very active over the next 10 days, which today is the first day of spring, so it should be.
It makes sense, spring-like conditions in the week ahead. Thanks, Jack. Still ahead, we're going to hear from the defending state champion Frontenac softball team as they prepare to defend their 3A state title. And the Neosho Wildcats open the baseball season on the road against Carl Junction. Jacob Leonard has the highlights coming up.
Well, today is the opening day of the season for the Carl Junction High School baseball team. The Bulldogs are at home to start their schedule this afternoon, facing COC rival Neosho. Now, the Wildcats aiming for a big spring, coming off their best record since 2016. In the first inning, Cale Smith getting some help from the defense. Quentin Hughes starts the double play. Colton Southern turns it. Game scoreless after one. Second inning, Smith just cruising on the mound, gets the swing and the miss. Then third inning, going off speed here, gets the strikeout looking. Both pitchers really good today. On the other side, Logan Eck for CJ picks up a strikeout to end the top of the fourth. Now, bottom of the inning, still scoreless. Runners on second and third for the Bulldogs. Wild play here. Chopper to third. Hughes comes home with it. Ball's knocked loose. Eli Czar says, I tagged him there. He missed the plate, but he's safe. Czar throws to second. Guy safe there. Colton Southern comes back home with it. That's the second out there, but we still got action. Czar slings it back to third. Runner caught in a pickle. I know it's taken a while. He's eventually tagged out, though. CJ gets the first run of the game, but Neosho fights back to send it to extra innings tied at 1. Top of the 8th, first and second for Eli Czar. He pokes one through the left side. River Brill comes in to score. Neosho has their first lead. And moments later, Austin Rodriguez drops a base hit into center. Quentin Hughes comes in to score. Neosho gets 3 in the top of the 8th inning. And that was it. Wildcats win their season opener over Carl Junction 4-1. Well, the Frontenac Raiders are just 2 weeks away from their softball season opener. The Raiders are the defending 3A state champions, claiming their third championship since 2016 last season. Frontenac returns 4 players who earned all-state honors from the Kansas Softball Coaches Association last year. They actually only lose 1 senior from last year's team in Heather Arnett, who moved on to play at Pittsburgh State. As defending state champs, they know they're going to get everybody's best shot, but that's not really anything new for this team.
Everybody's going to try to go for us no matter what, even if we were the defending state champions or not. So we just have to play our game and, work together.
I told them from the get-go, I feel like everybody wants to beat Frontenac, whether we're a state champ or not. That's a credit to these kids. They've done a great job in all sports, in all areas, to create a successful atmosphere. And so, there's always a little bit of a target on their back. Obviously, the target's a little bigger this year, but, it is what it is. We're going to go out and play softball.
They're the defending state champs, and they're going to be really good. I was at a practice this afternoon, and just looking around, I was like, there's an all-state kid, there's an all-state kid. They're going to be fun to watch again.
All-state kids. We'll be right back. Here's a look at what's coming up on our sister station, Fox 14 now. In just a couple of minutes, go ahead and switch over to catch our severe weather special ahead of the storm. That's going to begin at 6:30 on Fox 14. Then on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14, the Joplin City Council will receive an update on renovations to the historic Olivia Building apartments. Also, the Easter Bunny stops by Joplin's North Park Mall for photos with pets. Those stories, a lot more, KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Comedian Adam Sandler was awarded the 2023 Mark Twain Prize for American Humor yesterday. That event was held at the Kennedy Center Concert Hall in D.C. Kennedy Center President Deborah F. Rutter earlier called Sandler a remarkable artist. You guys tell me that you are Sandler fans. Favorite Adam Sandler movies?
It's easily Happy Gilmore for me.
Really?
Yes.
It's hard. He's got so many. I think Click or 50 First Dates.
No one's saying Waterboy.
Oh man,
it's a classic.
Waterboy.
But
yeah, Waterboy.
I love Happy Gilmore. Plus, I've had my back and forth with Shooter McGavin on Twitter before. So
true.
The weather.
All right, showers picking up after midnight for us tonight. Steady rain through the morning.
Final sports notes.
Sophomore pitcher Avery Johnson for Frontenac back this year after an all-state performance. We'll talk about that tonight at 10.
Thanks, guys. We're going to leave you with video of pelicans around Spring River near Riverton, Kansas. Look at this. We'll see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.